What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you should probably humble yourself a bit and get off your high horse, but you didn't do that, and now you're sitting here in the Christmas photo with a sperm sickle baby and the dog, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, just out of the blue, I happen to see this Christmas picture, and it's of my girl here, my boo, Ebony K. Williams, Miss Sour Lemon Duckface herself, smiling for a change, and she's here with her brand new baby in the Christmas photo, and she's sitting there with the dog as well, right? And no man in sight. So this is basically the culmination of everything Ebony K. Williams has wanted to be and everything she's wanted to do in life, right? So she has her career. That was her main thing, right? And she tried her best, I guess, to get herself a wealthy man, but that didn't work out. Whether it be black men or white men, that didn't work out for her. So she decided, and according to her, she decided that she wanted to get artificially inseminated, and she wound up getting the sperm sickle baby, and this is the result of that. And now she's able to take her nice little family photos in her nice home that her career bought for her, and some nice Christmas jammies, and she can sit there and smile with just the baby and the dog and no man in sight, right? Now, for some people out there, they might find this very, cozy and heartwarming. I find it a little bit disturbing. Now listen, if this is her choice as far as like what she wants to do with her life, I really can't be mad at her for that if that's what she wants to do, or if this is the way you decide to live, right? But I mean, you can't make it seem as if this is the best case scenario. It's kind of like making the best out of what you got. That's basically what this is. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I mean, I guess no one's life is the best case scenario, but this is more due to, this is not due to some like accident or due to some sort of tragedy that happened in life. Like, I'm not criticizing you for that if you're someone who's dealt with tragedy in your life and this is what you have and you're just happy to have it. I can understand that. But when you're someone who has made it part of your public persona that your arrogance has put you in this position, this is not really something to be proud of, right? And what I mean by that is Ebony K. Williams is one of these people who, for years, was, you know, saying that she wanted to find a man, I guess, on her level, whatever that is, right? And I'm going to deal with that in this video. But she wanted to find a man more on her level financially, I guess. And if she couldn't have that, she was just going to be single with a baby. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of weird that you have a lot of females nowadays who have that mentality. Like, it's all or nothing. And it's weird because, like, obviously as a man, we don't really have to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like a big deal for us to have to find a woman who's financially stable or who's, on our level, quote unquote, financially. It really doesn't matter. We go more for other things as far as finding like an ideal mate. But, with this modern, the modern version of what women have been kind of fed as to what a relationship is, I guess you have to find financial parity in order to be with someone, or they had to be at least above you, right? Now, she tried to get a man that was above her, this white man, but during COVID, he kicked her to the curb, right? Said that she was basically, he wanted to, quarantine with his family, and she wasn't part of the family, so he kind of kicked her to the curb, and she was by herself again, right? So, so now, and it became a very almost like a meme. I did videos about it. A lot of people did videos about it where Ebony K. Williams was talking with Iyanla Vanzant, and Iyanla Vanzant basically asked her, like, would you date a bus driver? Just using a bus driver as an example. And Ebony K. Williams, she's her face got all screwed and twisted up, and twisted into that sour duck face that she has, talking about like if he owns the bus, then maybe, but she's not. And then she kind of came up with that BS excuse, making it seem as if she just wants black men to be more. That's why, she said she would not date a bus driver. But here's the thing. Okay, let me talk about that first. When it comes to the whole I won't date a bus driver, or as a lot of women say, I won't date down when it comes to a man's finances like that. I think that's extremely arrogant and extremely disrespectful when you hear that, because even men do this to each other, which I don't agree with, where they make it seem as if a man has a certain occupation, then he's nothing if he's not like some leader of industry, right? And really, as a society, we really need to start rethinking that and reevaluating that, because the truth of the matter is, these so-called leaders of industry are not people we should be trying to emulate. A lot of them don't work. A lot of them have had help from outside sources. It's not like these people worked from the ground up or pulled themselves up by the bootstraps. That's all a fiction. That's something that they make up later on when they do their little memoirs or whatever. The truth of the matter is, a lot of these people have inherited wealth, or they got the money from somewhere, or they get like these government subsidies and government loans and whatnot. So that's how they make their fortune, right? Or they get tax breaks and stuff from the government based on whatever industry they're in. People like Elon Musk, right? So that's where that's how they became these kind of kings of industry. But even when you think about that, not every man can be that. You see what I'm saying? Like, there has to be people who work in a hierarchy, or else the system is just not going to work. So it's weird that the way that this society is built is, we'll criticize someone or look down upon someone if they're not at the top of this hierarchy. But in order for someone to get to the top, there has to be other people at the lower ends of it in order to make it work. You can't have a corporation without workers. You see, as hard as they're trying to do so now, you can't have a unit work together for greatness and not have people in the lower parts of that structure. It's just not going to work, right? Like, even if you think about, like, for my military brothers out there, if you think about some of your NCOs or sergeants or whatever, people in the lower ranks, those people are necessary. And in fact, sometimes if you're in the military, sometimes you probably would acknowledge your sergeant as more important than some of your higher ups, because they deal with you directly, and they're there to get things done, right? Or even if you're in a corporate structure, some of your managers or floor managers or supervisors are more in line with you as and more important to you than the nameless, faceless people who would be at the higher ups of these corporate structures, right? Or like owners or whatever of a company. So to make it seem as if someone is just unimportant because they're not in this so-called leadership position is just very disrespectful. Even when you talk about someone who's like a municipal worker, like a bus driver who maybe works for the city bus, or someone who's a garbage man, those people are necessary, right? We can do without another Ebony K. Williams rolling her eyes and rolling her neck and stuff like that on TV, and giving political commentary. You really can't do without the brothers who pick up your trash every week. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to the way that society looks down upon certain types of people out here, I think that's very disrespectful. And the fact that it's ingrained into people so much that it even affects people's relationships is very disturbing, because you could be missing out on someone who is a great person for you, someone who would uphold you, someone who would love you, just because they don't have the job that you think they should have. You see what I'm saying? And even so, like maybe the person starts out as a bus driver, and because he's inspired by you, he aspires to be more. And being with you, he can help himself go back to school or something like that and get a better career. So these are the things to think about when it comes to this type of mindset, right? And Ebony K. Williams is now in a situation where she is just sitting there by herself with the dog and the baby. I mean, I hope things work out for her. It's kind of like, and here's the thing: I know there was some debate on my channel or on my Facebook as to whether this baby is actually an artificial insemination or that she just finds some random dude to knock her up. That's possible. That's possible. She could be lying about the artificial insemination, because she was having a hard time finding black sperm to to get from these clinics, because those clinics don't have an abundance of black guys, which is funny because you know that could be from a bus driver. You know what I'm saying? That sperm could be from just some quote unquote lower labor worker out there. But he passed the test at the sperm bank, so now you're taking his sperm and you're having a child. But who knows? Who knows where Ebony got the sperm from? Right? The baby does look kind of mixed to me. It doesn't really look like a black baby, but I can't see the face, so I can't really tell. Right? But it's in her mind, she has achieved all of her goals, I guess, now. And now she's basically a single mom with this baby and no man to speak of. And I guess this is a victory for her. And in her mind, or for women like her, this is a victory. It's kind of like a victory, but with no, where you haven't really achieved anything, or you won the battle, but you have high casualties as a cost of it, or you came out with mortal wounds, or you lost arms and legs and whatnot, but you won because you're still alive. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the win that she's got here. And the disturbing thing for me is this is what a lot of the social engineers out here have in store for civilization, or civilization as they want it, right? A lot of these same corporate people who push this whole nonsense that you need to be on the top of a corporate structure, or you need to be a leader of industry. These are also the same people who get into these think tanks and they push this nonsense where they make it seem as if the family is not important. A man and a woman is not important to a family. You can be a single mother. You don't even need a man to give you the sperm anymore. You can just go to the clinic, get some sperm from there, and make a baby, right? And soon they're going to do away with that too, because now they're making it seem as if you don't even need a mom there. They're going to have these AI robots, and take a sperm cell and an egg cell and just put that inside the robot and have that be in the incubator, right? And that's going to be your baby. You see? So that's the type of nonsense. They're trying to divide you from that family, because without that family, you don't have any type of love or concern for someone else and for your progeny, and you don't have any love or concern for your community. It's all about just you being an obedient worker. You see, that's why they tell these women to value your career over everything else. You see? And that's why they tell men that you are nothing without your career. You are nothing without your job. As if that's your definition of being a human being, is your job. Okay? We're supposed to be people first. We're supposed to be our human connection first. We're supposed to be our family first, because that's the only way we can survive. But you have these scumbags out here who want to create this hierarchy of them at the top and just a bunch of obedient workers out here. And there's no attachment. There's no real family. It's just all mechanical. go to a sperm bank, go to an egg bank, and make a baby out of nothing, and that's what it's going to be. And now she'll probably have like a nanny or something taking care of the baby while she's working her career, so there'll be no attachment between her and this child. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we have to be careful of. And this is why people like myself are against the nonsense that comes out of the mouth of women like Eboni K. Williams, because I'm thinking in the long run about where this is going. I know a lot of you are only thinking about your own personal, interpersonal relationships, but that's what they count on. That's what these scumbags count on, is that you're only thinking about how you feel about these certain situations personally, and not the end results of where your civilization is going. You see? So, I mean, you folks can let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I would love to hear your opinions on this story. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.